Hello everyone, I welcome you to lecture number 4 for your next coming exams. All my sessions are for educational and academic purposes only. I do not allow members to record the session. Recording without permission is unethical and it will go against you for not meeting the requirement of good character. And good character is a requirement for becoming lawyer in Canada. And I do not provide any legal advice. So we have to discuss 6 doctrines. We have already discussed 4 doctrines. The remaining 2 doctrines, which we are going to discuss now. Comparatively, these doctrines are easy to understand, although they are not mentioned in the syllabus, but we may have to apply them in our answer. So what is colorability doctrine? And this material is also available on the website. There is a document. It says doctrine. The colorability doctrine in the distribution of power is invoked when a law mean provincial law mean federal law, when a law looks as though it deals within a matter within the enacting body's jurisdiction. Within the enacting body's jurisdiction. Remember, I said 10 times within the competence of the enacting body. So this is the same thing. A law looks like as though it deals with a matter within the enacting body's jurisdiction, but in essence is addressed to a matter outside the enacting body's jurisdiction. So this principle we learn from R and Morgan-Taylor case. So for example, now this is the doctrine. So doctrine means that law looks like as though it is dealing within the enacting body's jurisdiction, but in essence, it is addressed to a matter outside the enacting body's jurisdiction. So I'm going to make 2, 3 questions. So Aisha, Danny, Amishi, anyone, Nana, if you can unmute your side and answer my question. If a federal government makes a law on divorce, is it within the enacting body's jurisdiction or is it outside the enacting body's jurisdiction?
It is within the
body.
enacting body.
It is within the enacting body's jurisdiction. Okay. If a provincial government makes a criminal law, is it within the enacting body's jurisdiction or outside the enacting body's jurisdiction?
Outside.
It's outside.
If a provincial government makes a banking law, is it within the jurisdiction, outside the jurisdiction?
Outside.
Outside the jurisdiction. If a province makes a law only on imports and exports, is it within the jurisdiction, outside the jurisdiction?
Outside the jurisdiction.
Outside. If a provincial government makes law relating to custody of children,
Yes.
is it within the enacting or outside? Within. Okay. So all these are, if any government makes a law which is within the enacting body's jurisdiction, will the colorability doctrine be applicable?
No.
So
No.
the colorability doctrine will not be applicable. So if any government makes a law which is within the enacting body's jurisdiction, then the colorability doctrine will not be applicable. The colorability doctrine is applicable when any government makes a law which is not within the enacting body's jurisdiction. Okay, let's now do a hypothetical question just to understand it better. Just to understand it better. Okay, Amishi is going to read the question, or I can read it. I think it is okay. I can read it.
I can if you want.
Okay. No, so let me read it, so that I can slowly explain it. So you have to tell me whether it is within the enacting body's jurisdiction or outside the enacting body's jurisdiction. The Bank of Canada has repeatedly increased interest rate, resulting in higher mortgage payments for homeowners in Ontario and British Columbia. Many residents of these provinces have consequently chosen to relocate to Alberta, where housing prices remain comparatively lower. All of you know, right, Danny? Is that correct?
Yeah.
The prices in Alberta are lower.
Yes.
Upon relocating, so for example, Valkirat, Danny, they live in Toronto, they decide to move to Calgary. Upon relocating, these individuals, Valkirat and Danny, they sell their properties in Brampton and Milton and British Columbia at higher market values and purchase residential properties in Calgary or Alberta at lower prices. Everyone following the question?
Yes.
Next. In response to an asserted fiscal crisis, the Government of Canada, federal government, whenever the question says Government of Canada, it is assumed that it is federal government, unless the name of the province is mentioned. Unless the name of the province is mentioned. In response to an asserted fiscal crisis, the Government of Canada enacts legislation imposing 1% additional tax on individuals, Valkirat and Danny, who relocate from Ontario or British Columbia to Alberta, Calgary, and purchase residential property in Alberta. The federal government relies on its taxation authority under Section 91, subsection 3 of the Constitution Act of 1867. Is that a valid power, Nana? Is that a valid power or not a valid power? Aisha,
It's
Hussain,
not a
Bilal?
valid power.
It's not a valid.
Is it valid or not?
Not valid.
Why it is not
Well,
valid?
it is valid.
It's not valid because
But
it's not
valid.
for the whole of
valid.
Canada.
It
There
is
are some
It is valid, sir.
provinces
Power is
and-
valid. Use of this or not maybe.
No, it's not valid, sir. The reason is federal government has to make the laws
over
applicable to entire Canada. So they cannot single out that only these two residents of these two provinces, if they move to Alberta, will be charged extra.
No. So far, we have
Power is
not
valid,
gone
sir.
further. The
Ah.
power is valid or not?
Power is
Power
Power is
valid.
valid
valid.
power.
Power
Valid.
is
Power
valid.
is valid. Yes.
Yes, power is
State
valid.
and federal can raise for raising the revenue.
Yes. Separately, so now everyone is clear or there is any confusion? Nana, are you clear? Nana?
It's a valid power. Okay.
Yeah, it is a valid power. Next. Separately, the government of Alberta enacts legislation imposing 1% tax on all purchasers of real property within Alberta, payable at the time of purchase. Alberta relies on its authority to impose direct taxation within the province under Section 92 of the Constitution Act of 1867. Is that a valid power?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is a valid power. Purchasers of real property in Alberta challenge the validity of both taxes. Both taxes. Now, this question is asking you to discuss both laws. So sometimes you can get one law in the question, we do not know. Sometimes you can get two laws in the question, we do not know. Purchasers of real property in Alberta challenge the validity of both laws, arguing that the measures are unfair and constitutionally invalid. The federal government maintains that its tax is a valid exercise of federal taxing power. Questions? Advise the purchasers of real property in Alberta on the constitutional validity of the federal and provincial taxes. Number two, Identify and explain the constitutional doctrines, if any, that may be applicable in resolving the dispute. This is a hypothetical question. So in my question, I have asked you specifically to discuss doctrines. However, in real questions or in the UBC question or in the college or university questions, this question will not be asked, but you still have to discuss, still have to discuss, still have to discuss all the doctrines. That is a hypothetical question. If any member has not understood the question, please raise hand. So we have discussed the concept of colorability doctrine. So now we are moving to the next doctrine. Please remember there are 6 doctrines. Please remember we have to discuss all doctrines in our answer. Please remember the question does not ask you to discuss doctrine. Please remember we have to write according to the marks. But pith and substance, you have to write in detail, in detail, in detail. Okay, this is the last doctrine. Okay, yes, Vijay?
Sir, you said, like you said, if it's a 30-mark question, then we'll expand accordingly. How many, let's say it's a 30-marker question, for colorability, how many lines should we write? And for pith and substance?
No, Vijay, it depends if the doctrine is applicable or not, because we do not know. So as a general rule, I have already given this general rule. If the doctrine is applicable, then write more.
Yes, sir.
10 to
Let's
15. Yeah. If the
let's-
doctrine is not applicable, then we still eliminate it. We say that this doctrine is not applicable because of this and this factor.
got it, sir. And if it's applicable, approximately how many lines?
Then I do not want to, so although sometimes I give the lines, but then I do not want to give. Why? The reason is, Vijay, that every candidate has different typing speed. Huh? For example, if I say write 15 lines and some of us type like me, I also type slow. Now, if you are following, okay, because my teacher said 15 lines, so I have to write 15, then you may not be able to complete the answers. Huh? So I just give a guess, like a estimate that approximately this line, but it should not be 100% followed. That is why I keep on saying, practice the answer, practice the answer, practice the answer, right? Vijay, you would agree I have said 50 times so that you know how much you can write, huh? So many of you have purchased the sample question and answers from the website. So read the question and write the answer and then count the lines, huh? Vijay, count the lines, that how many lines I was able to write. That is the best decision.
Understood, sir. We use our discretion also.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
All right. So this is the last doctrine which we have to discuss, double aspect. Double aspect mean very easy to understand. Subjects. Subjects mean like 91 and 92. 91 has 29 subjects and 92 has 16 subjects. So subjects mean subheads, or subjects also mean topics. So subjects which in one aspect and for one purpose fall within 92, which is provincial, may in another aspect and for another purpose fall within 91, and that is the federal government. So what are the typical example? Health. Health, everyone has provincial health card. So health for one purpose and for one aspect is a provincial subject. Now, if something is relating to health as a nation, like COVID, or if there was any pandemic or if there is a disease, or if there is something, if there is some food injurious to health, then the federal government can also make laws relating to health. So that is a double aspect doctrine. Another example is all of us are immigrant. Some of you came to Canada in the Federal Express Immigration Program. Some of you came to Canada in the provincial